It has happened. The TikTok ban is in place, and we'll break it all down for you. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. I want to break it down because we've heard and we've seen your comments. Many people are trying to figure out, how does TikTok connect to Polkadot? So in this video, we're going to break this down for you and show you how blockchain is really kind of the answer here and how it's all connected. First up is the Supreme Court upholds the TikTok ban. So this is going to happen, I believe, in just a little bit of time. If you look at our counter right here, 1 day, 5 hours away. So by the time this video hits YouTube, you're probably less than a day away before TikTok will go dark. All the services, I mean, the fees alone and for a company who's hosting any of this material is pretty extensive. So when you look at the fines, I should say, it will happen. So the key here is what is it going to look like between now and the time that the inauguration takes place? Other things, if you just look at the current search terms, I mean, this has really started to accelerate. So you had that first little pump, then that was around January 10th, then another one here on the 14th, and bam, we are on trend right now to absolutely skyrocket. So this is definitely on the front burner for trends right now with everybody on TikTok. And of course, we've been watching some of the TikTok content out there, absolutely some of the best content that we've seen yet. Here's Donald Trump, though. He's kind of chiming in on this. I just spoke with Chairman Xi Jinping. The call was a very good one. And they basically said, we discussed all these things, balancing some trade, fentanyl, TikTok, and many other subjects. That's interesting that you have fentanyl and TikTok in the same sentence. But anyway, point is that maybe there is an opportunity here for at least a divestiture of the Chinese own TikTok into the United States where it plays out. And of course, as you guys know, we've been talking about this for quite a bit in terms of why it's going to actually happen. Here's another story. This, of course, showing that the TikTok CEO, Xiao is planning to be at the inauguration. So this may give some indication that TikTok, is a little bit more maybe accepting to a 90-day workout period. Now, whether that's a 90-day, we're going to keep it up for 90 days and let's work out the deals for the divestiture. But the key is that every minute, every hour that TikTok is down, that is damaging the brand. It's probably reducing the value of it. So that's another factor that plays into this whole situation. If you look at TikTok being removed from the App Store by Monday, right now the chance is hovering, well, at one time it was well over 80% at 85%. It's hovering right now at around 78%. That's at time of recording. I anticipate this is probably going to go up a little bit. Other things I wanted to show you here on Polymarket. This is, will Trump save TikTok in the first week? This will resolve to yes if Donald Trump of the United States signs a federal legislation or performs any executive action by January 27th that has the effect of overturning or delaying the enforcement of TikTok's sale or ban. So that's a much wider and broader statement on Polymarket. And because of that, you're seeing, right now the percentage is still at about 61%. But if you look at this Polymarket, you've got TikTok sale announced before April 1st, right now hovering around 27% chance. So they believe that this is still going to be in negotiation for how the sale is going to transact. Now, we've been covering this for a bit, and as you guys know, we've talked about this quite a bit and have been looking at this as a strategy that we think TikTok was going to have and be divested and have a blockchain component implemented into it, and that is where Polkadot comes in. So let me explain that, because everybody doesn't really get the connection here. So, all right, so let's jump over to Project Liberty's forum page. Now, remember, Project Liberty, Frank McCourt, Kevin O'Leary. That is the company that is trying to bid on TikTok right now. So this is their forum page back in 2021. And the thing they were trying to do was selecting a chain. And essentially what they're doing is launching DSNP. They wanted to do this on other than Ethereum because of fees, transactions, situations. All that was playing out in 2021. And DSNP, just so you know, is think of this as the framework, the building blocks of the next generation internet. That's where we've talked about this for a lot on the show. If you're brand new to crypto and you're brand new to blockchain, think of the internet as having a new digital ID system, a new payment architecture. All those kind of things will happen. And part of that is going to be based off of DSNP. Now, when they looked at all the chains, if you scan down further into it, these were all the chains that they looked at. Now, many of these were chains you recognize: Algorand, Avalanche, Cardano's even on here, Celo, okay? And then Polkadot right there. So I'm going to jump to this next one. Now, again, this right here was in May of 2022, and they said, okay, we have a blockchain selected. It's Polkadot. Now, frequency is like a subnet. Think of it, you guys know what parachains were huge back in the last bull run. If you don't know what a parachain is, and you think of it as a subnet of a primary chain like Polkadot. Similar to Avalanche's L1s right now, or what they used to have as subnets. So that's what frequency is. So this is what frequency is going to do. It's going to run the DSNP. That'll be the new chain that this infrastructure resides on. And that's the connection to TikTok, is the potential of Project Liberty, Frank McCourt, Kevin O'Leary, and this technology going into social for the very first time. So that's why we believe that these connection points are going to happen. One other note in this same article where they're talking about we'll continue to be implementation agnostic, meaning multi-chain. Frequency is on Polkadot. That is a subnet of Polkadot. That's why we think that this is going to be tied into it. So let me go to a clip real quick. And this clip was just here recent as well. Let's play the clip.
Frequency is also trying to expand and make it as accessible and usable as possible. And will be adding, in some way, shape, or form, adding Ethereum ecosystem to frequency. Still a lot of questions yet about how exactly that'll happen.
All right, so from that clip, as you can see, they still haven't got the solution for Ethereum. So the likelihood, first mover, it's going to be Polkadot that all of this is going to exist on. But there's a lot of companies in here that have a connection to where blockchain is going to be going. So this is just the beginning, and of course I think this is where a lot of people lose the connection. They don't understand, why is TikTok related to the Polkadot? How is Polkadot going to eventually be done? When it gets sold, the technology for social media is going to shift. Frequency is going to be there, and it rides on Polkadot. So just put all that together, and you understand that if we're going to see a democratized social media in Web3, which we've been talking about forever, and there's been a lot of companies that have tried to do this, this may be the first successful shot. If you look at number of transactions on frequency right now, and these are just some of the companies that we just showed, but if you look at right there, frequency is the number 2. Let me zoom in on that for you guys. They're the number 2 right there. That's their position right there. And that's in terms of total transactions. So the key here is it's gonna happen. We're gonna see a large amount of transaction. If we start to see this implemented into Polkadot, it could be everything from transactions, potential sales, possibly creator payments, all sorts of things that could play out into the future of this. All right, so here is frequency and where it's working today. There's MeWe, there's WeAre8, this is a UK company. This has and WeAre8 already has a kind of an Instagram version of this. So the fact that this is already working, remember, this is going to be interoperable. So there's possibility that you could have platforms that are interoperating with other platforms. So think about that when it comes to social media. This is just beginning. So get ready. This is where we're going to be watching this very quickly, because as we start to see the potential for TikTok moving over to a new platform with this divestiture, this I think is going to be the framework in which it's going to be done. So all that being said, you got to look at a couple other things. TikTok ban is going to be a wake-up call. Decentralized tech like Polkadot, Avalanche, TON, there's other platforms out there that are all doing similar things. And the thing that they're focusing in on, data ownership and control. That is why Web3 is the future of social media. It's why Web3 is really the future of the internet. So, and this is, many people have talked about this on the Ethereum blockchain. They've talked about it on many blockchains, but the potential here is real. So everybody asks, well, are there some other investments out there? Anytime you look at an ecosystem, you probably should also look at its meme coin ecosystem. So just run over to Dex Screener, and if you get into the Polkadot ecosystem, WIFT is one that would possibly be, and this is of course WIFT dot on hydration, if you guys are trying to get to it, but this is another one that could also be affected by all of this. Again, Polkadot meme coins. We put out a tweet on this. We owe the Wood community an apology for completely forgetting to mention the Gavin Wood token alongside WIFT. Yes, we heard you guys, so we understand. And hey, the meme coin crowd is strong. The force is strong with them. So we had to issue an apology there. If you take a look at Polkadot, we'll go over to the chart real quick and just take a look at DOT right now. All right, so it's fall off from where it was, which was around $10. A lot of people were kind of in that zone. It has started to climb out. It's holding at about 745, along with many other projects. It's up 5% on the day. So I'm still very positive of where this may take TikTok, but I'm more positive of where this may take social media, which is a decentralized social media and the future of creator payments, shopping, all sorts of owning your own data. All of that could come into reality with Polkadot through the use of a parachain, a subnet that rides on Polkadot called Frequency. So keep a watch on all this good stuff. If you guys are not in our Diamond Circle, make sure and get in that. It's a really great place to get additional content from us. And by the way, we put a link down below. It's our Telegram community. That's a place where we do a lot of the chats back and forth. That's where you can join too, or you can get in the email list. Either one works. And of course, follow me out there on X at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.